Well, hello everyone. Thanks for coming into my channel. My name is Ellen Marie Francisco, and today I'm going to do some tarot to talk about the November energies that are happening from the supermoon that's coming up mid-month and whatever that may be pressing upon us as a result. So we're going to start with, they're everywhere down there. And wow, look at all these cards that are falling on the floor. Well, I'm going to say that we've been through a lot in our minds in the last little bit, if this is what's falling on the floor. So hopefully, if you're not in alignment with what's going on between your ears, because your brain is running amok, perhaps, or you're overthinking things, you're being too negative, time to bring it down. Time to bring it down into the feeling nature and working with what seems to be right, what your sense of things is, rather than what you think about it. When you've got the blind faith card, the Two of Swords, it's a lot about trying to find balance when you can't really see what you're doing, even what you're going through. Yeah. So those are the things that are on the floor. Let's see what cards are actually going to come up. All right, we're going for the energies around the supermoon mid-November. We're asking, what do we need to know going forward? What is ours to do? What do we need to know? All right, so we're starting with Ace of Cups. We're being crossed with King of Swords, King of Truth. You know, the Ace of Cups is coming in with the divine, no question about it. So if this is our center card, if we are centered in the divine, we are being asked basically to bring in and integrate more of the divine energies through our sacral. So it does make sense that the Nine of Swords that had all the eyes all over the body, it makes sense that that was on the floor, because we would have gotten out of our minds, hopefully, in the last couple of weeks. And now we're able to embody a little bit more of our own light. And we're also willing to generate, I guess there is a lot going on in the second chakra that I can feel. This is, symbolic of it as well. That's how we're coming in with a lot of God energy and creation energy and impassioned energy, and I will receive energy, which is great, because in order to manifest, we need to be willing to receive, and in order to receive, we can manifest more. Spirit is always wanting to resource us with things that we need for our journey and to fulfill our spiritual contracts. So as much as it may be difficult to be down in the earth plane, moving through things, then this is also, we're just being fed right now. And there's, if you can hear, there's Piglet in the background getting his meal in while I try to start my reading. Well, we may be hearing him chomp. So yes, it's a new beginning of nourishment, an ability to receive new information, new hope, new direction, new energies. In fact, it feels like the core, lots of core energy is being activated. Very much seed, soul seeded kind of stuff. I'm being crossed with the King of Swords. He's the messenger, he's tuned in, he's always listening, he's a good authority on things, and you can trust him. The King of Truth is coming in. So there may be a lot of words that need to be said. It could be yeah, not as much, not as much talk, a little more action. King of Sword energy also is like authority. So there may be a little bit of conflict between the divine purity and all the knowing that this is coming in with, and the I am one with that the Ace of Cups brings in. It's the I Almighty I am in some ways. And then we've got the king who's very much part of the system and is using all his tools basically to get through with his own instincts, so it's a little bit of a different, it's a bit of a juxtaposition as far as how to work with these energies. So basically, if the king is crossing, then it's quite possible that not only can you feel and bliss out, but you may have to speak up about as well. There may be things that you need to talk about that are being pulled out of you that need to be coming into words. Oh, and underneath us is the Lover's card. So the Ace of Cups is asking us to receive, to be open, to be willing to embody the spirit, blissing out in that high vibe, all of it, bringing it in and down into your body. So it's rooted in a way that you can use it. It's not going as far as the first chakra here, but it's coming into the creation center. So it may be a lot of new beginnings, right? We've been waiting for these new beginnings. Things are coming to fruition better. And with the king crossing, yeah, lots more out in the open, speaking forward in all kinds of ways. The divine coming into the authority forums as well, as and a lot of getting to the core. I feel like with this card, focused energy, very high-minded, able to focus in, no problem. So where it might be coming in as raw energy, wow, like a bliss out, overwhelm, by the time this guy shows up, you're working with it better, you're understanding how to focus your attention and move your will forward, right? And that's how it looks to me. So with the Lover's card as the card underneath us in our position of support, we have a nice coming together. In a way, we get the hint of that with the Ace of Cups being crossed with the King. I mean, this is heaven and earth in two cards, essentially. And what are relationships that work except heaven on earth in so many ways? And if in the months prior, you had done a lot of your own soul searching and reorganizing and moving things around to make sense, then you would love yourself more coming into this time frame. Things would be a little more coalescing, I guess, coalescing better. So it's a very good, nice sign to see that the Lover's card is below us in these next weeks ahead. All right. Oh, and then the Empress. Well, there's a lot of divine feminine coming in tonight. That is for sure today. Empress, lots of empathic abilities, which would make sense. I mean, here's the divine coming into us, activating our second chakra, our sensuality, our sexuality, our creativity, our sense of I am. It's our intuitive empathic channels too. So you may just be reading everything better from Well, just everything. You just may be reading everyone better, every situation better. You may feel comfortable. You may feel healthier in your body. You may be listening to your body and giving it what it needs. There could be those kinds of changes that have taken place. And the other thing about the Lover's card, it is a very nurturing card. Even if you weren't in a relationship right now or dealing with a love affair of sorts, every other person you're in a relationship with could be represented in this card. So there may be breakthroughs with some of your own relationships where you do feel better supported, or better understood, that kind of a thing. As well as when we've got the Empress coming in, she's sitting in our right now on the way out influences. So we have been more sensitive, right? A lot of us had to go way deep into our first chakra and do a lot of very deep wound clearing. And it was really painful, and it went on for months, and we're sort of only just getting to the tail end in some regards with that and finally saying goodbye. So with the Empress here, it's also mothering and nurturing. So a lot of this is really pointing to basically a lot of really tender self-care to begin with, right down to the core, and also a sensitivity on a body level, honoring and recognizing, and honoring, recognizing, and accepting that, wow, like we really do have the ability to bring more into focus right now, and to create, bring more into, manifest more. Basically, we're able to manifest more this cycle, it looks like. So maybe all those openings I was feeling before, this is a good sign that it's happening between the Ace of Cups and the Empress, and then of course the Lover. So I would also say, yeah, you got to take really good care of yourself right now. Feel your way through everything. All of this is about feeling, not thinking. As well as overhead of us coming in is we have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven is a bit of a piercing of the veil to me, and the invisible supports waiting to help us on the other side, willing to deliver it to the material world. And if we are coming in with the reception, hello, I'll take it. Thank you. I'll get my luck codes and everything else that comes in with that. Then just not a few prayers away, there may be things landing for you. So I think, yeah, I think we're able to manifest more during this cycle. Something seems to have lifted finally in a lot of ways, especially for those in the flow of their own divine, right? Like a lot of us are already tapped in. We've always been, and we are committed to feeling that connection daily. So I guess this is where you're starting to see some of the payoff. Not so bad. It is a time to just keep bringing your prayers to the heavens. Don't be shy, whether you are praying right out loud to the heavens, or if you're writing it and journaling it, if you're speaking it amongst friends, just make it be alive in the world around you as part of the way to bring it in and anchor it. Seems to want to come. You've got the Judgment card in our gateway to the future, and that's a little bit about the brain, not getting too carried away with overthinking and things like that. It's also the heavens speaking to us. So having had well, first of all, let's go back to the ace. I mean, we are getting an infusion of God light here, goddess energy, solar light, solar everything. We've got the promise of answered prayers and resources sitting at the ready when we connect and proclaim, basically, as our own. And we've got the Judgment card basically bringing us the permission, saying it's so. So if you're not tripping out and being really negative and on a downfall with your mind and its negativity that can sometimes happen, this is probably a really good full speed ahead kind of time. Yeah. And what else have we got here? And then we have, we have the Three of Swords after our gateway into the future. Well, let's go back for a second to the Judgment card for a couple of reasons. We can't be too judgmental during this period, I guess. Really, she does. I mean, she can represent the overthinking. She can represent the veil and the messengers and the ancestors who want to say hi to us, or our loved ones who want to speak through light and energy in whatever form. So I would say the veil is very thin right now, is part of it for sure. Or the veil is gonna be really thin for a little while. So your abilities would be, so that's why I would say be careful what you say. And this makes sense that the king would be crossing. He does not use his words unwisely. He connects very with a lot of, well, he connects with a lot of wisdom as far as how he gets his information. He does answer to a higher calling in his own way as well. Yeah, so don't be too harsh, don't be too quick to judge. Enlist, if the veil's going to be so ready, then I would pray more. I would ask, hey, spirit, hey, Jesus, hey, angels, hey, whoever, mom, dad, sister, brother, and see who's coming to answer you, because these are more peek through moments that are available to us right now. And then with the Three of Swords, this is a direct warning not to betray your truth. So if your new truth is speaking through your body, because now you're a divine empress and you can feel the heartbeat of humanity everywhere and things before they happen, or who knows what your talents now are, you're feeling it and you've embodied it. And if you've balanced out your extremes and can love both and all parts of you and work in tandem, right? Like let the right leader come forward as you're making decisions every day and making choices. So you're not abandoning yourself and betraying. So a lot of the balance between feminine and masculine is to, and the divine is to, as the feminine, receive the divine, as the masculine, act on it in alignment. So this is really what's being called on. If the Judgment card is our gateway to the future, we always have to come back to what are the cards around it saying. The cards don't land, without some kind of pattern, without some kind of message. So we cannot basically accept, we cannot bring in from our duality the sort of oneness of our spirit. Is that a good way to say it? What are they saying here? We cannot abandon ourselves, and we cannot be over judgmental on the parts of us maybe that we don't fully understand, but are still working and that are moving fluidly through us. I feel like we all have a lot of new information anyway, like our truths changed somehow. It's quite possible that, yeah, like you may have felt like you're in a bit of a period of enlightenment right now as it is. And if that's the case, it's quite possible that you're trying to still integrate some of this high frequency information that's hard to digest on any day. And so you may have to just stay true to it and maybe keep a low profile. Maybe that's the way we do it to get through. Let's see what happens next though. All right. So we do have a destiny card coming in with an Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to show you in a second. Oh, we got 2 destiny cards. Oh, very interesting. All right. So we've been asked to not betray our truth, our new truths, and the way that we see things and feel things and know things now, because now we're more connected and in tune, and we're just like, what? And the veil is really thin, so we're seeing things like everywhere. And even if you're not seeing things everywhere, the potential is certainly there. Don't you worry. The Eight of Pentacles is a great card, kind of does emphasize what we already know about this is we're receiving divine information. It's just coming right into us incredibly effortlessly. And in this case, it actually comes back out of us. So it's like we take that divine information in, we process, regurgitate it through our creative center, and then we ourselves become a wellspring of creation, and we destined to move through the energy that is bubbling up through us. We create ways that we can monetize our talents or our skills or whatever we've got that just can't stop coming out of us. You know, there are times in our lives where no matter what, we just can't stop not doing something that will sometimes lead us into greater parts of ourselves and into bigger worlds that we didn't expect. And these are a karmic justice or karmic justice. Okay, we are stealing. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at this. Look at the way my tongue is slipping around. Okay, so let me see if I can even remember what just happened. I heard the word stealing, so I know that there were some yeah, so you can't let people steal your power, your ideas. You're monetizing in ways and finding value in yourself, hopefully rising in your confidence and boldness, because these are with these karmic juncture cards, they are breakthrough cards. So it's like the universe meets you more than halfway, right? Like they've resourced you with the ideas and the skill or the brilliance, and now they're hoping you bring it out to the world in a way that you know, brings happiness, essentially. I mean, it's actually a pretty good happy card. It's you know, manifesting in the material world too. So definitely you want to be careful with what you're saying. You are creating, if the veil is as thin as they're warning us, if it is all about what's going on in both the, you know, sides and the duality, again, like they are showing us, you know, the opposite, our higher world, our lower world, you know, our highlight and our lower vibe 3D existence. Also, the Temperance card is coming next. So obviously, yeah, we're dealing with a lot of things from the heavens and the elements too. So there could be a lot of extreme impersonalities around us too. And that's also why in the 3D world, not to be too judgmental. If you're running around suddenly with you know, the hard truth gift gab, my heavens, you could really tear up a room in no time. So maybe don't be too harsh with the tongue and too judgmental. Maybe just, you know, play it in the mid ground, balance both, find the midpoint between the two. Both of these cards are showing us where's the midpoint, where's the happy medium, how do we come into the balance, the 50-50 win-win. And we're also talking about grounding our crown chakra in this card. So definitely our heaven, as we were kind of warned, is coming to the earth here. And now, we do, yeah. So I keep hearing material manifest. A lot of us, I think, are going to be manifesting way better in these coming weeks. And our final card is the Eight of Cups, which is also a bit of a destiny point here. So here we are with these karmic juncture points and these strength points balancing in between with the Temperance card. So I think it is a fine line between how well we take care of ourselves and how much we get swayed by outside influences that may have a louder voice and also have their own truth, but may not be necessarily our truest truth, right? Yeah, so I think that we're going to be a little bit tested, but poised. We're poised for success if we're listening and receiving, being willing to receive the empowered divine information that you can embody beautifully, and then commission for more. So be very clear with your desires and your vision boards and things like that. In this next little while, I think it will pay off nicely. And if you are working with money or trying to monetize something, keep it along the lines of things that help you feel the most like you. Because this Eight of Cups sometimes will put us into a bit of an identity crisis, and we'll do a lot of comparative shopping and we won't know, and we'll forget our value, which is kind of embodied in the Pentacle cards. The cups, we can kind of get lost in our insecurity. So, and that's the final card, which is, again, if we're saying the gateway to our future in these next coming weeks and months is to not be too judgmental and to be open to the divine plan and the divine message coming in, then you may not have to worry too much about how you fit in. Because sometimes we don't know how we fit in here, and yet we're charged up and ready to go. So don't fall prey to your own thoughts of, I can't do it, I'm not sure if I can. Like you may talk yourself out of something that is just so soul destined to yourself if you're in the wrong mood, essentially. That's kind of how I feel it. So then I would say it would also, because this card is crossing us, it's extremely important. Like, it's as important almost as the gateway to the future card, the crossing, because it's influences that we can't really escape, that they're hitting us whether we want them or not, and we've got to deal with them. So I would say talk it out to the heavens. Talk it out to the heavens, the parts that you don't understand, and or talk it out with your trusted advisors and things like that. I guess that's how I would also put that. Well, it doesn't look too bad if you're listening to yourself and keeping your equilibrium and not getting too far into your head, and not getting so far into your wound or any other part of you that might not believe in your ultimate karmic magnificence and ability to pull in your divine plan like a master, which is also kind of hinting that way with the cards. So if that's our supermoon read, then I want to see what might we have in store for us for December, and what kind of themes are we working on? What are we going to deal with in December? I'm just going to pull three cards to give us a little tidbit of what might be coming up. And I don't know, when I feel into it, I feel like it's a bit of a sigh. Like there's just a bit of a sigh. I think it may be a little sticky still. Sticky. All right, let's see. Oh, Five of Swords, Nine of Cups, and the Chariot upside down. Wow. Well, the Five of Swords talks a lot about the words we couldn't say. You know, sometimes we can't have conversations with people we've been in conflict with because they just don't see our point of view. So this could really talk about conflicts in communication or unsolved problems, unsolved dilemmas that can't be solved because you couldn't have the conversation. So you may be healing something on your own without the help. If somebody doesn't see your point of view, then you kind of have to heal both sides, right? Sometimes it can ruin relationships, sometimes it can fracture them, certainly. Upside down too. Yeah, I mean, words are just wow. Hmm. Sometimes this is the people that you've lost in your family who are already on the other side that you didn't get to say goodbye to, you know? So you may be feeling them more than ever again if the veil is as thin as we were just hinted at, then it would make sense that even if you couldn't talk to them, you may be dealing with the wounds, the after effect of the wounds of people that have hurt you in the past. So maybe December is going to be a bit of a healing month, a forced healing month. And this is a lot of root chakra energy too. So yeah, we may have to get into hard conversations, tough conversations about uncomfortable things or unresolved issues. Hmm. And the five, it doesn't, it takes time. It can be things that are really, really old, or it could be even the way forward still takes time because of some of the limitations involved in the way that, in a way, like a divine clearing. Hmm. The Nine of Cups is a lot about multitasking or happiness. So it's possible that we need to get through the tough conversations or the healing around whatever happened in those tough conversations, and then get on to the happiness project and just, go ahead and fine tune what our loves are and go after it, like a big giant bucket list all at once. It's almost like I'm feeling this sort of thirst around December, like a bountiful somehow celebration. And I feel that more closer towards the beginning of the month. So who knows? There could just be a lot of really, really awesome breakthroughs for people. The chariot upside down, this is a combination of human will, divine will at the best. When it works the best, it's divine will, and it just comes calling at the right time. And you're like, hey, great, I'm on the ride. Let's do it. It is upside down. So I would say that it could be, okay, so this could be, ooh, so these could also be excesses, like I said, we got to look at the cards together. These could be like a gluttony of sorts, Uh, sheesh, that's true. Beside this, you may be eating your emotions more in early December because you can't deal. And if you're if you're forcing situations, like you need to hear what you need to hear out of a situation or you're going to walk away kind of deal, like this could be ultimatum central. Holy wow. Over forcing will. I never really thought of that way before, but I really do. I think this could be a problem, you know? Yeah, like excessiveness run amok. So it would almost be like a lack. It almost speaks to a disregard for the divine in things. Hmm. My way or the highway willfulness in a way too. And selfishness, totally could be total amounts of selfishness. Hmm. Wow. Well, we'll do a more in-depth reading uh not too long from now, and we'll get to the bottom of what's going on there. So I guess forewarned is forearmed, and have a great everything. Thanks for coming into my channel. My name is Ellen Marie Francisco.